So Jalen Brunson is on the Fanatics Fest, and he gets asked a question. But he gets asked a question if he pitched to LeBron James for him to come to the New York Knicks. And Jalen Brunson, in my opinion, embarrasses LeBron James because he shows exactly how that whole process should go. And he is not one of those guys that's just going to pitch to somebody and ask somebody, come over and team up with me so we can win some championships.
Jalen Brunson just put LeBron James' entire superstar era under the spotlight, and almost nobody is talking about how devastating that moment really was. While much of the sports media continues celebrating the age of superstar team-ups, the newly crowned champion delivered a message that completely challenged that mindset, live, in front of everyone. This wasn't just another post-game quote. It was a statement that exposed what many fans believe is the biggest weakness of the super team era. And once you hear what Brunson actually said, it's hard to look at the debate the same way again. We're breaking down every detail because this moment deserves far more attention than it's getting. Before we dive in, drop your opinion in the comments. Do you respect Jalen Brunson's old school, earn it mentality, or do you believe the super team approach that became closely associated with LeBron James is still the smartest path to winning? Let the debate begin.
Jalen Brunson gets asked a question, like I said, if he made a pitch to LeBron James to come and join him in New York. And Jalen Brunson's like, all right, guys, you're going to love me for this one. I'm not pitching anything to anybody, basically. We got people in the front office, and they can do whatever they have to do to build a team that can win again or can win or whatever. But he literally shows by his comment that he's not one of those guys that's going to go after any player, LeBron James or anybody else, to try to join forces to win championships. He wants to beat the competition.
Now let's talk about what happened at Fanatics Fest, because this was a perfect example of what many fans believe real leadership looks like. Jalen Brunson was on stage during a panel with Shannon Sharpe and Chad Ochocinco, wearing a cast after recently undergoing hand surgery. Even while recovering, he carried himself with the confidence of a champion. Then came the question that instantly changed the atmosphere. Ochocinco asked Brunson something every NBA fan was waiting to hear. With a high-profile superstar sitting in free agency, had Brunson already picked up the phone to recruit him to New York? Was he trying to bring another elite player to the Knicks and build the league's next blockbuster super team? It was a simple question, but Brunson's response turned the entire conversation into something much bigger. Instead of giving the answer many expected, he revealed a mindset that immediately reignited one of the NBA's biggest debates.
You back in the gym already. The thought process of wanting to repeat again. Obviously, the pieces you guys have right now are excellent, right? But you can always add more. Right. You know, it's like cooking food. Ain't nothing wrong with adding a little seasoning to it. Did you pitch to a certain player who's in free agency right now who has yet to decide where he wants to go to probably come to New York? I'm just asking.
You guys want to know? You guys want to know? All right.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna love me for this. I got asked this question recently, and I answered it perfectly, truthfully. My job is to go out there, dribble the ball, put the ball in the hoop.
Yes.
Try and play a little defense. There's people who are above me that make jobs who determine who's on the team and who's not. So I leave the.
Brunson's response was incredibly simple, but that's exactly why it hit so hard. He looked at the crowd, smiled, and said they were going to love his answer. Then he explained that his job is straightforward: step on the court, handle the basketball, score when the opportunity is there, and play defense. Everything beyond that, he said, it's the responsibility of the people hired to build the roster. Brunson made it clear that the front office exists for a reason. Team executives decide who joins the organization and who doesn't. As far as he's concerned, player recruitment is their responsibility, not his. That answer instantly grabbed the attention of NBA fans. For years, many people have felt the league has shifted towards superstar influence, with elite players often rumored to be recruiting friends, shaping rosters, and helping decide where the next blockbuster partnership will happen. Brunson took the opposite approach. Fresh off leading New York to a championship as the franchise's unquestioned leader, he showed no interest in acting like a general manager. Instead, he drew a clear line between the players on the floor and the executives in the front office. Whether you agree with that philosophy or not, his comments reignited one of the biggest debates in basketball. Should superstars focus solely on winning games, or should they also help build the team around them? That's why this moment resonated with so many fans. It wasn't just an answer. It was a statement about leadership, accountability, and what the role of a franchise player should really be.
What a perfect freaking response. What a perfect freaking response. A response like that, and Anthony Edwards saying You know, if you're looking for the new face of the NBA, could as well be Jalen Brunson, because you probably need a championship under your belt to be the face of the NBA, and he just won one as the main guy. So if Jalen Brunson is the face of the NBA or one of the faces of the NBA, I am super glad to see him and his approach and to see the direction that the NBA is going in, because we're going in a direction where people, it looks like people are starting to move away from teaming up and joining up and doing all that crap that LeBron's done. By the time he's out of the league, his circus, his garbage, his, weak approach.
The deeper message behind Brunson's comments is what really sparked debate across the NBA. Whether fans agree with him or not, he projected a mindset that many people associate with old-school basketball. Instead of talking about recruiting stars or building the next headline-grabbing partnership, Brunson's focus appeared to be on competing with whoever lines up on the other side of the court. That's one of the biggest reasons so many fans have embraced what he's building in New York. His actions have matched his words. Brunson accepted a contract that reportedly gave the Knicks greater financial flexibility than waiting for the largest deal he could have pursued later. That decision gave the organization more room to strengthen the roster under the NBA's salary cap, reinforcing the idea that he values building a balanced team over maximizing every possible dollar. Moments like that naturally invite comparisons to other superstar philosophies, including LeBron James. Throughout LeBron's career, critics have argued that his teams often revolved around adding established stars, while supporters point out that he consistently carried championship expectations and made front offices aggressively pursue every opportunity to contend. Both perspectives have fueled one of basketball's longest-running debates. The real contrast isn't simply about money, it's about leadership style. One philosophy believes superstar players should actively shape the roster, recruit elite talent, and push management to make bold moves whenever a championship window opens. The other believes a franchise player should concentrate on leading on the court while trusting the front office to handle personnel decisions. Brunson's answer made it clear which side he leans toward. His comments also arrive at a fascinating time for the NBA. The league's newest collective bargaining agreement has made it dramatically more difficult for expensive super teams to stay together. Teams that exceed the league's highest payroll thresholds face significant restrictions on roster building, making depth and financial flexibility more valuable than ever. That changing landscape has forced organizations to think differently. Instead of chasing 3 or 4 max contract stars, many contenders are investing in strong role players, roster continuity, player development, and long-term chemistry. Those qualities have become just as important as superstar talent. That's why Brunson's response resonated with so many basketball fans. When Chad Okocinco asked a question that could have produced weeks of free agency headlines, Brunson didn't fuel the speculation. He redirected the conversation back to basketball, making it clear that his priority is preparing to play, compete, and help his team win. Whether you see that as the right approach or believe modern stars should have a voice in roster decisions, one thing is undeniable. The NBA is entering a new era. With tougher salary cap rules and a renewed emphasis on roster balance, the blueprint for building championship teams is changing. And if Brunson's comments are any indication, the conversation about leadership, team building, and what defines a true franchise superstar is only getting louder. The players who thrive in today's NBA aren't just the biggest stars. They're the ones who embrace their roles, commit on the defensive end, and buy into a system built around winning. Many fans believe that's exactly what the Knicks have built. And at the center of it all is Jalen Brunson, a player whose public comments consistently point back to one priority: basketball. Instead of trying to control every roster move or dominate the headlines, Brunson has repeatedly emphasized that his responsibility is to prepare, compete, and lead on the court. He leaves personnel decisions to the front office, creating a sharp contrast with the player-driven era that has shaped so much of the NBA over the last 2 decades. That difference has become one of the league's biggest talking points. For years, critics have argued that superstar influence has grown so powerful that front offices often find themselves balancing basketball decisions with keeping franchise players satisfied. Supporters counter that elite players have earned the right to help shape championship rosters after carrying enormous expectations. Brunson's comments offered a different perspective. Rather than fueling another free agency rumor or recruiting headline, he redirected the attention back to preparation, teamwork, and winning games. That's a message many old-school basketball fans have been waiting to hear. It also fits where today's NBA is heading. The league's new salary cap rules make roster depth, chemistry, and continuity more valuable than ever. Championship teams can no longer rely solely on collecting the biggest names. They need balanced rotations, dependable role players, defensive discipline, and organizations working toward the same goal. The Knicks have become one of the strongest examples of that blueprint. Brunson has embraced New York as the face of the franchise, earning respect not because of social media headlines, but because of what he produces every night on the court. He lets his work speak louder than speculation. As the conversation shifts toward the NBA's next generation, players like Brunson are helping redefine what leadership can look like. Anthony Edwards recently said that becoming the face of the league starts with winning a championship as the #1 option. Brunson has now entered that conversation, and his success has only intensified the debate over what the modern superstar should represent. Should franchise players recruit stars and help build rosters? Or should they trust management, focus on basketball, and let their performances define their legacy? Brunson's answer at Fanatics Fest didn't settle that debate, but it poured gasoline on it. In just a few seconds, he turned what could have been another free agency headline into a statement about professionalism, accountability, and competitive pride. Whether you completely agree with his philosophy or not, one thing is undeniable. His response became one of the most talked about basketball moments of the offseason because it challenged the way many people think championship teams should be built. Now it's your turn. Do you think more NBA superstars should adopt Brunson's approach? Or do elite players deserve a major voice in building their teams? Drop your opinion in the comments, and if you enjoy balanced NBA breakdowns that go beyond the headlines, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.